Hey, and welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. And it's the Livin in Vegas podcast, and it's Running Rebel Red Friday, folks. That's right, folks. It's Rebel Red Friday on the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk to you about people, the places, the trends, and events that shape the city of Las Vegas, folks. And it's we come to you Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff, but especially on Fridays, we spend a lot of our time talking about the Running Rebels. That's right, folks. It's the Running Rebels, and we're so excited about it. A lot of stuff to talk about that happened over on campus this week, and we're also going to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. Went to the game last night, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Had some highs, had some lows, had some ins, some outs, but it was not boring by any stretch of the imagination. Some of you that might be just checking us out for the first time, my name is Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, and we started that magazine about a year ago, and very excited about it. It's been fun. It's been a labor of love, to tell you the truth. I've been loving being a part of the whole thing about producing a magazine, doing all the graphics and all the stuff like that. It's been really fun, and we have found doing the podcast it's even more funner, mo funner, and so we'll keep doing the podcast as long as the Lord says to keep doing it, and we'll just keep doing our thing. I want to welcome all of our friends who are checking us out on YouTube, and that reminds me, if you love what we're doing here on YouTube, there's a little thing right here, just a little smash button there. Just smash that little button right there where it says YouTube, and subscribe to our channel. That way you get updates every time we come on the on the program or on the channel, and you can actually check us out. Also, here on Fridays, we make a special effort to wear red. I'm even wearing red flannel here today. Last week I had my little rebel, my little rebel pin and stuff like that, which I've had for many, I shouldn't say many, many years. As a matter of fact, as soon as they started outlawing the rebel mascot, we went out and bought as many of those little plaques as we could, because they were gone, and we bought some of the last ones that were in existence, as far as I know. So we've got ours, and it works out really well. So before we go to a break, I want to tell you about yesterday. I was with my brother-in-law Chip and my wife, the lovely Mrs. Ray. Went out to the Vegas Golden Knights game. Got a chance to talk to Chip about UNLV more and more and more, and it convinces me. For those of you who live in Las Vegas, you probably already know this. It convinces me even more and more how vital a show like Livin in Vegas is, because there are not too many outlets that actually talk about UNLV. I mean, not at length, and so there we go. Some of the news channels are just finally getting on board with this. They're just finally getting on board with talking about UNLV. But I've been a UNLV fan since '79. Before that, because I went to UNLV in '79, and so before that I was a UNLV fan, and have always been. As a matter of fact, my license plate, if any of you who know me, you already know what my license plate is. It's LV, LVN, LV. That's it. Love living in Vegas. I am, other than Wayne Newton, I am Mr. Las Vegas. Just saying. I know I might be a little bold saying I'm Mr. Las Vegas, but when you live and breathe and you have a tattoo that says UNLV on it, I don't have a tattoo, folks. I'm lying. I'm lying about the tattoo, but I've got a picture that shows me with a tattoo, so that's almost as good enough. So, we love UNLV, love everything about Las Vegas, and so if you watch this show or you're part of our magazine or anything like that, you know that we talk about Las Vegas with an admiration. And when we were talking about it with Chip yesterday, he was talking about a couple of the things that are going on over at the university, and we're going to be highlighting it even more. We've only given you a tip of the iceberg so far of what we really love about UNLV, and just scratch the surface about some of the things that are going on there. But as we go on and more, you're going to find out even more about the university that we love. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing, stick around for a little bit, folks, because we've got a video of one of the coolest things that's happened at UNLV in a long time. And it I think it highlights, how do we say this? We're the most unappreciated and probably one of the most highlighted segments of UNLV, and that is our dance team. Oh yeah, I know some of you are already thinking, I already know what this is, Sherman. I already know what it is. Nope. But when we were at the Vegas Golden Knights game last night, and we were talking about UNLV, because my brother-in-law Chip, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the boosters. He's he's not a regent. What do they call those people? Trustee. That's what it is. He's a trustee over at UNLV, which means he gets to hang out with the president and the athletic director. And because I'm kinfolk, I get to hang out with those folks too. Every once in a while, I get to meet some of these people, dynamic crew of people who love Las Vegas as much as I do. So after the break, we'll start talking about some of the things that are going on over there, because this is Rebel Red Friday, and when you watch this show on Fridays, you're going to get an overload of UNLV. So this is Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll be back in just a second. Hi everybody, it's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, and welcome back, folks. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Today is Running Rebel Red Friday, and where we really, we spend a little more time talking about UNLV. We talk about UNLV all the time, but today's show, we lead with them, and they're going to be throughout the show. So let's get on to some of this cool stuff. The Running Rebels, the girls, which was the Lady Rebels, should I say? The Lady Rebels went out to Wyoming. They went out to Wyoming yesterday. So, in matter of fact, we were watching the game, or watching parts of the updates on the game while we were at the Vegas Golden Knights game to get some updates on what the score was. And we finally beat Wyoming, and we beat everybody, but we beat them 71-57. But the most impressive part about this game was that we had not gone into Laramie and won in 11 years. Oh yeah, it's been a long time since the girls have gone over to Laramie and won. Desiree Young watched most of the game on the bench the first half, but in the second half she was on fire. That's right, she was on fire, folks. And 7 points, 3 rebounds during a 15-0 third opening scoring run, and we went on to just smack it and spank it, all that good stuff, and beat the girls over there at Wyoming, which is really cool. Coach Lindy LaRoque said, you know what, you have to be really tough down here. This is one of the toughest games we play. This is one of those things that we'll look back on and when the season ends and say, well, we're really proud of it, she said, because it's not easy to go into anybody's home court and beat them. But when you haven't won since the 2011-2012 seasons, ending in eight consecutive losses over at Arena Auditorium, it even makes it tougher. So very excited for the girls. They just pulled it out, which is so cool. And we were talking about the aforementioned Miss Young, Desiree Young, and she actually became Player of the Week. which is so exciting. We're just, what are you going to do? When you're doing great, you're doing great. For the third time in the last 4 weeks, the Lady Rebels was picked as a mountain. She was picked as the Mountain West Player of the Week. Junior center Desiree Young voted for the honor the second time this season. Conference office announced Monday. So that was just, she's tough, just tough. It's when you see players of this caliber, you say to yourself, Las Vegas Aces, you've got your replacement. So very excited that she might be going. Who knows? If she's a junior right now, who knows if she's going to play her senior year? You never know. I mean, heck, LeBron James didn't play. Period. I mean, he just went from high school right into the pros. And so who knows what's going to happen with Desiree? Should be great. Matter of fact, when we that first segment, we didn't even tell you what the scoring leaders were. Gosh, I should have said. So Desiree, she scored how many? She scored how many points in that game? Desiree, she had 15 points, and leading all scorers was Essence Booker. Essence, you're the hotness. You really are. You're doing some great things. Very excited for you. And Alyssa Brown of the Alyssa sisters, she scored 16. As we said, Desiree hit 15 points. And the other Alyssa Dorazo Frescas, she had 8 points. So we're excited about that. The girls are doing so good out there. And every time I get lucky, folks. I get to update you on what's going on here in Las Vegas, but it brings a smile to my face when I hear about the girls that are doing such a great job. And so it's interesting. The guys, we started out the season just on fire. We've lost a few games. We're still doing really well in the Mountain West, but the girls have been on fire, just on fire. And every time I do a report on them, just like I said, it brings a smile to my face. Kind of like what happened yesterday when we were at the Vegas Golden Knights game. So let's make a real quick detour, and then we'll come back to UNLV. So we went to the Vegas Golden Knights game last night. Myself, my wife, the lovely Mrs. Ray, and Chip, as I alluded to earlier. And there was a young girl that was sitting in front of us. So we get down to the game. Here's the interesting thing. We went down to the game, and we were in We were row 7, section C, which means we're on the player side of the court, and we're just the top of the backboards. So the what do they call those? The boards where they go into the boards. So we're just there. So we're right off of the court. So it's just 6 rows back. We're right there, 7 rows back. And so we're sitting down there, and we're kind of sitting, and we get to the game. A ton of people are standing up right in front of us. So these are the die-hard Vegas Golden Knight fans. They don't sit down the first 20 minutes of the game type thing. When they get there, they're standing up, they're drinking, they're jumping up and down, they're reveling, and these are the women. I know, it was true. I mean, it's just a lot of women up there just jumping up and down with their VGK shirts on and stuff like that, their jerseys. And so we're sitting there, and pre-games are going on, and everybody's just, and these guys won't sit down. I mean, you can't even see the court. You cannot even see the hockey rink because of these rabid, fans. Excitement in the air. Wow. And then all of a sudden, some lady and her friend walk up, and they say, "Hey, you're in our seats." And we look over at Chip, and we go, "I don't think so. Chip, did you bring us into these bad seats here? Did we steal somebody's seats here?" And Chip goes, "No, I don't think so. I'm a season ticket holder, and these are my seats." And the lady goes, "No, these are my seats. You're in the wrong seats." So we pull out our tickets. Sure enough, we were in the wrong seats. We were 1 row closer than we needed to be, and the people who had been sitting in our seats behind us for like the last 20 minutes while we were there at the game, they had gotten up and left. So we get up. We moved back 1 row of seats. I mean, we were in row 7. We were sitting in row 6, but we should have been in row 7. So, yes, I'll get on with the story. I will. Hang on a second. So, we're sitting there. We're having fun now. The game's starting. Now, these 2 ladies had brought their daughter, little girl, cute as a button, 6 years old, And many of you know 6-year-old girls are my heart. They're just fun. They're crazy. They make noises. They scream. They yell. That kind of stuff. But this little girl was a hockey player, and her mom had no problems telling you she was not a cheerleader. She was a hockey player, and not only just a hockey player, but she was a goalie, and she was just so we had a group of people from Detroit that were close to us, and they were singing Red Wings, Red Wings, and this little girl's going, Go Knights, go, go Knights, and she was loud, little 6-year-old girl. She's dancing and she's going, Go Knights, go. I can't go that high because she's just very high voice. This little girl got the entire section excited about saying Go Knights, go, even though we were losing. So I'll be a spoiler right now. We lost the game last night. And even when we were losing, though, this little girl was like dancing, jumping up and down. They put you on the Jumbotron, our big lighting, our scoreboard, and the video screens that was on the top of the fortress there. And, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. Yeah. So she was dancing so much, the cameras got on her. And because we're right behind her, the cameras are on us. So people saw us at the game. They're sending us text messages and telling us, hey, we saw you on the game, and that kind of stuff. It was very cute. So cute. Anyways, hey, let's get back to some more Rebel stuff. So anyways, the guys traveled to Logan to play against Utah State. And unfortunately, the guys lost. Yeah, I know. We lost. What was the score in this game? I don't know. I don't care what the score was, because when you lose, you don't even care. We lost in overtime. No. That was the Colorado State game. So the guys lost. So we were traveling to Utah State to play, but I think we actually lost that game. I think we lost to Utah State in that game. And I'll get you the score on that. I really will, because I was not very happy about this game, that we lost the game, because we could have won. We could win every game, but that was, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Sometimes you can't win them all, even though we want to. But it is what it is. We'll come back to stuff about UNLV in just a second here, but let's move on to other stories coming up pretty quick, folks. Let's talk about Blake Shelton first. Okay, let's talk about Blake. So Blake Shelton and his cute wife are going to be opening up a restaurant, and it's called Old Red. And Old Red is going to be going up on the Strip area, next to, I believe they're going to be over near the Nugget. I believe that's where they're going to be at. Let me be sure here, folks. I got to make sure. Near the Horseshoe. Sorry, near the Horseshoe. So evidently Blake's got a couple of these up over around the nation, but he's decided to come here. It's a multi-level. You probably saw the picture. Let's put the picture back up there. Multi-level experience, and they just broke ground on it, which is cool. So it'll have music, Southern eats, signature drinks, inspired by Blake himself, which is really cool. So we're excited that Blake Shelton's going to be bringing his own thing here. So I thought to myself, do we have enough room? Do we just have enough room for all these things that are coming here? Oh yeah, we do. So think of it this way: Oakland, California. Many of you know Oakland is over out near the bay. They used to have the Raiders, and they used to have the A's. Oh, did I say that out loud? I did. I said that out loud. But the A's are going to come here. They are, folks. Just, it's a matter of time, but they will be here in Las Vegas. And as we were talking about it yesterday, with people in the know, they were thinking about the spot where the Tropicana is right now, which is, to me, is kind of, I don't know. I don't know if anything should go on the Strip other than, casinos, if it's there. But other people who are in the know are saying, no, they're probably going to implode the old Tropicana because it's an old building, old towers. Well, towers, it's really, doesn't have towers. Not like the mega resorts, down the strip. So they're thinking that the A's are going to bring in a buttload of money and say, "Hey, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse, Mr. Casino guys," and put a stadium right there, right off of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard, which would be crazy. So, do we have enough people? Once again, I was going back to this. Okay. Do we have enough people? Yes, we do. Because Oakland, California has about 250,000 people in Oakland, the city proper. The metro area of Las Vegas is over 600,000. And then the city of Las Vegas, 600,000. And then the metro area is almost 2 million people. Do we have enough people to support these teams? Yes, I think so. Yeah, we had a conversation about this yesterday, and the conversation went like this. Yes. we got enough room where people, can pick and choose. And now it's not just the tourists who come here. It's the people who actually live here are enough to support, the amount of people that these teams are going to require. So kind of like what we were talking about before, that the Vegas Golden Knights, when the Raiders came in, they didn't just come in and bring those single teams in. They came in with a sports franchise mentality. And so they're bringing in all kinds of cool stuff, which is just amazing. Just simply amazing. Let's do this. Let's take another really quick break, folks, because we've got a lot more to talk about. I know I talk so much. I really do. But I promise we will get to some of these other stories in just a second. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast, and we'll talk to you in just a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Sorry, folks. I was reading a text message. I've got a really good friend of mine who's working on a display that we've been having problems with, and now, okay. So anyways, I will get back to that in just a second, though. I shouldn't even look at it while I'm doing the show. So let's get on to some of these stories, because we're running short on time. I talk so much, and I can't help myself. That's what I do. So let's move on to something else. Really, let's talk about NASCAR. So NASCAR is going to be having their haulers that are going to be going down on the strip here pretty quick, and we have not seen this in quite a while. We actually, I think the last time we saw this was last year. It is the kickoff to the Pennzoil 400 and NASCAR weekend here in Las Vegas. If you've looked on our website, which over is at livininvegas.com, that's livininvegas.com, you have probably seen an advertisement for this for months now about NASCAR weekend. And so it is going to come up March 2nd, and so it's going to be very cool. It'll be over at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, formerly, the Speedrome. We used to call it the Speedrome when we were kids. About 40 brightly colored 18-wheelers will be out there for the NASCAR Cup Series. And the haulers will be out there, police escort. They'll go down Las Vegas Boulevard. It'll be such a cool thing. Just so cool, folks. Many of you probably have noticed that out. This is actually a view that I had driving down the road yesterday. I think yesterday. And so we're really talking about the relief from the snows and everything else like that for the Lake Mead area. And I'm very excited about this. So you can see this is actually a western view of the valley. And sorry, Scam Likely's calling me here. The view from my place, and I get to see this every day. This is a view of Red Rock Canyon, and that was actually kind of a cloud formation. And you can see that little peak over there on the right-hand side, and it is basically, it looks kind of like a nose. That's actually Red Rock Canyon, and that cloud layer that's in there is actually settling in the Red Rock Canyon area. It's so cool. But way off in the distance are on the very left. That's the very western edge of the Las Vegas Valley, and that's snow. That's snow on our mountains there, which is just so cool. Well, that snow, in the last week or so, we've gotten a lot of snow, a lot of rain, and that is affecting the water level out at Lake Mead. Yeah, California has gotten dumped on, just dumped on, and all of that contributes to the alleviation of some of the drought conditions we've had out of Lake Mead, because we've had just terrible. It's just been just terrible. So they're predicting that the lake level is going to go down another 20 feet by September if we don't see some kind of relief, and it's going to be problematic. Just definitely problematic. Let's get on with another one here, folks. So there was a cleanup. There was a cleanup out at Mojave County, and about 200 volunteers went up and picked up trash. And this is a picture of some of the guys that were out there picking up literally car parts. They said they picked up cars, trucks. Golly, I can't believe people drop off stuff like that. 2 personal watercrafts, a truck tailgate, and several TVs. TVs, you normally see stuff like that. But this was, people were dumping all kinds of things out there. They said they picked up about 20,000 pounds of trash out in Mojave County, out in the desert out there. And we have the same sort of thing that happens out here. Now, this was their first cleanup that they've ever had. So, it makes sense that they're going to pick up a lot of trash. Since this being the first time. We out at Red Rock Canyon have these cleanups like on a weekly basis. Yeah, no, we're not going to have that here in Vegas. There's no way. Because there are people, it's called the Friends of Red Rock, I believe it's called. They're rabid about this. They're going, no, you are not going to ruin our desert. This is our recreational area. We want to keep it the way it is. And we appreciate you guys. We tip our hats to you right now because you've done such a great job of keeping the Red Rock Canyon area clean. So we are just upset when we see people throw anything out their windows. No, don't do it. Just don't come to Las Vegas and dump your trash. Go to California. Don't do it, period. Okay, but if you must do it someplace else. Please don't dump your trash here in Las Vegas. And last story before we leave. There's a nonprofit that has that basically brings food stuff to local areas, and just so happens that and it's called the Community Market at Garside, and they created a partnership between the Clark County School District and the Just One Project. And what they do is they bring basically food. And for people who are food insecure, and it's at Garside Elementary School, or a junior high school, middle school. And that just so happens to be the school that I'm going to be working for. And it just happens to be very close to where I live at. So I'm very excited about this. The more I find out about what our school and what our schools can do, the more excited I am about being involved with these organizations. So I want to tip my hat out to them, give them acknowledgement about what the things that they're doing, and thank them so much for some of the stuff that they're doing, because it deserves to be, they deserve people to tell everybody about it. Okay. Anyways, we will be back again Monday for another edition or episode of the Livin in Vegas podcast. If you missed the entire show, folks, either you can check us out on YouTube or you can download our podcast on Spotify. That's right. Just look us up, Livin in Vegas podcast. Excuse me. Look us up, or you can go to our website at livininvegas.com and check out all of our episodes. They're all there on our website. And we just hope that this has been a blessing to you. But we'll be back again Monday to talk to you about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. I'm your friend, your loving neighbor, Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll see you again Monday at 8:30 for the Livin in Vegas podcast. See you later, folks. Bye-bye.